Hi, we are Group 7 with me, Nadra, and Long Yu Chu, and I, Nadira. The topic that we chose for our assignment is the property market in Kuala Lumpur, and this is our analysis. So, the Kuala Lumpur property market, there is a polarization and structural imbalance. So the context is that KL is Malaysia's primary economic hub, driving sustained urbanization and population growth. With this demographic shift, it creates strong underlying demand for housing and commercial real estate. The challenge is that there's a critical structural challenge, which is a persistent mismatch between the supply and effective demand. The polarization is with a significant oversupply of high-end properties like luxury condos, and also at the same time, there's simultaneous shortage of genuinely affordable housing for middle to low-income households. There's also compounding factors such as slow income growth and rising production costs, which makes this structural imbalance worse. So our report argues that the KL property market is defined by a two-speed polarization. Key drivers are acute affordability constraints, which is tied to slow income growth and rising input costs. And there's also targeted government policies, which is often reactive, but it's aimed at supply control, such as development freezes. And then there's also fundamental urban demand, which is an underlying demand from population influx. So the goal of this report is to seek structural change in developer strategies to address this issue.
Hi, I'm Yu Chu, and I will analyze the key factors shaping Kuala Lumpur's property market. About the population growth, the Kelang Valley's population of 8 million creates fundamental thousands of young professionals enter the market, particularly favoring transit-oriented development. Deputy high incomes for rent a character issue. The price to income ratio shows homes are becoming less affordable, pushing demand to city fringes and smaller units, while demand factors setting the stage. Supply side constraints and cost significantly shape market outcomes. And next slide.
Okay.
Next.
Yep.
Yes. Mm, Production costs, construction costs have soared recently, with steel price up 40% in 2 years. This directly impacts developers' decision on and when to build, and the government role. Police is a major supply shaper from affordable housing cradles to development phase in oversupplied segments. Government actions directly control market supply. And with so many developers in KL, drivers in innovation, but also creates market saturation in some segments. When, when sentiment turns negative, developers pause launches and creating artificial supply shortages that affect price when demand returns. And next slide.
Yeah.
Now let's examine how these factors in interact to create the market dynamics we observe today. Two-speed market. KL's property market shows this distinct segmentation. Affordable, well-located properties maintain value while luxury segments struggle with oversupply and discounts. Developers aren't passive. They are shifting to smaller units, timing lashes strategically and moving to city fringes with transit access where land costs are lower. Transit overhead development. The MRT expansion has created new property hotspots on the city fringes, a trend we expect to continue. In summary, the KL property market represents a complex balancing act. Success requires understanding both demand drivers and the supply constraints while adapting to regulatory trends. Next.
So hi everyone, today I will be talk about the strategies.
Okay.
Next slide. Okay, so the first strategy, the first and the second strategy is affordable product and also flexible financing. So Kuala Lumpur faces a mismatch between price and actual income levels. So Bank Negara Malaysia states that an affordable price is around 282,000, but most new homes right now is exceed 500,000. So developers need to shift from building high-end units to more affordable and mid-range homes. So they can do this by redesign unit size, reducing unnecessary luxury engineering to lower construction costs. So this could help developer reach more genuine home buyers instead of depending on investor. So the second strategy is provide flexible financing where interest rates are changing, and this can make it harder for buyers to quality for loan. So to maintain demand, developers can collaborate with banks to offer innovative financing such as rent to rent, which is R2O, deferred down payment, and lower early installment. By doing this, they can also provide mortgage advisory to help buyers understand their commitment. So this strategy can reduce financial burden. So for the third and fourth strategy, which is diversification and managing oversupply, which we know that interest rates are changing, and this sorry for this for this strategy, which is diversification market segment, which as we all know that too many developers rely on foreign buyers for luxury high-rise unit. So to reduce risk, I think they should diversity into mixed-use project, co-living spaces, and transit-oriented development, especially near to MRT, LRT. So these types of development appeals to both local and experts who prefer accessibility to MRT, LRT. And developers also can also strengthen digital marketing campaigns in regional markets like Singapore, Hong Kong, and also China. So for the next is the revitalize and repurpose unsold units where the KL market still face oversupply, especially in high-end condo, as we all can see. And instead of adding more supply, developers maybe can repurpose vacant units into co-working spaces like student hostel or short stay rentals like Airbnb nowadays. So it's also can implementing green building feature like solar panels and energy efficient system that can help improve occupancy rates. And then it's also can, I think this approach can help in long-term value and also align with sustainable development goals. Next slide. Okay, so next slide is about the data analytics and also strategic partnership, where this last slide I will explain about the data and also partnership that help developers to make better decision. So the first is to strengthen data-driven decision, which is developers maybe can rely more on data and analytic to understand market demands. And also this includes analyzing buyer preferences, demographic trends, and supply gaps in different care allocation. So accurate data can help like determine the best pricing timing for project launches and what type of units the market actually needs. So by doing this, developer can avoid oversupply and also make informed development decision. Last is about the build strategic partnership, the last strategy, where partnership with government programs such as like we all know like Prima and also Rumah Mampu Milik, Rumah Selangorku that can help reduce costs and can attract more buyers. And this collaborating with fintech, which is financial technology, companies can streamline digital loan and approval and also improve customer experience. So working with urban planners help to create community-friendly development and also include parks, healthcare, and also rental spaces. Lastly, we can, by doing this, partnership can strengthen long-term and also competitiveness and sustainability for property developer. Thank you. Nadra, you can unmute.
Okay, sorry about that. So we basically to summarize everything, the main finding is there's market polarization as the result of structural imbalance, and it's not by a single factor. So the driving forces of this imbalance is basically sustained urban demand versus affordability pressure. It can be strategic yet reactive. So the supply decisions are constrained by increasing input costs of construction, and also there are shifting regulations in between developers. So the outcome is that there's a two-speed market where affordable demand goes unmet while high-end segments remain stagnant. And so the one of the finding is that there's affordability cap for the strategy as part of the strategy, right? So we apply a affordability cap where the people with slow income growth, but if the unit costs about 500K, it's not so feasible lah. So compared to if there's affordable benchmark of fixed that typo of 282K. So that would be more feasible for the mid to low income groups. So the strategic action is that developers must pivot towards value engineering and smaller units like Sohos or Sovos to meet purchasing power. The second finding is that supply is cost and policy driven, with the rising production costs and the government intervention that dictates supply mix and pricing. The third finding is there's resilience through data. So there's long-term benefits that require moving away from oversupply mistakes. The strategic action from this finding is that we utilize data-driven decision-making and adaptive reuse of core assets complemented by strategic alliances with government and tech partners. So the challenge, just to reiterate, the market casts developers as rational actors who must constantly adapt to shifting economic signals. So the long-term strategy is to have sustained stability that requires moving beyond short-term reactive measures. So the main priority is to prioritize a structural shift towards equitable urban development and technology-enabled planning like PropTech and data analytics. The goal is to ensure market growth is synonymous with long-term economic resilience and meeting genuine housing needs. So that's all from our group. I'm Nadra with Long Yu Chu and Aina Dura, Group 7. Thank you.